Nuclear missile ready.
And hello and welcome everyone to another Alpha X Pro Series matchup here casted right on Africa TV. My name is Rushy and I'm going to be your caster for today's event. We've got a good matchup in store for you, so I'm really excited here to get started. Our players are just getting ready in their first lobby. We have BratOK facing off against Alpha X's own Rodzyn, a TVP for our matchup today. So really excited to get started on this. It will be ready to go here in just a moment. We're getting everything set in the lobby. And away we will go. So happy that you could join us here for our best of 9. We'll talk more about our matchup here as we get into game number 1, and we have a little bit of time to kill, but there's the sound you can hear. We're getting ready to get started. We're starting on Nightshade LE. Apparently, I get to pick the first map, so I decided to pick a fun map for our players to open up on, and we are getting set and ready. So thank you so much. I think I might have done the ideals backwards to PvT. I think I said the names in the right order, but in the wrong race order. But we'll get that all squared up right here. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Nightshade. It's our Red Terran player playing for Team Starcom. Give it up for BratOK. And spawning in the top left of our map, our blue Protoss player playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Rodzyn. So today's matchup is typical to our Alpha X format here. It's a best of 9, where we will get to see so many games. So many games, folks. Our winner of our series will win 5 of our 9 games to take home the lion's share of our prize pool, which we will talk about our prize pool in just a little bit, probably in between games here. But more than likely, between these two players, we're going to see a lot of maps here. We're going to see a lot of games. Hopefully, watch this go pretty deep so we can get a lot of good StarCraft content here. Probe's going to poke up into the main of BratOK or BratOK. We're going to find out how we should pronounce that for sure. Do a little bit of harassment, meanwhile, dropping his own Nexus back at home, Cybercore. So nothing too incredibly spooky here. Actually doesn't get a whole lot of harassment done on that main, or that natural expand of BratOK. So while the harassment is good, it really doesn't accomplish a whole lot here. So anyways, we started on a map of my choosing today. Everything from here on out is loser's choice. So whoever loses game number 1 will have the say on where we head for map number 2. By the way, folks, this is the first time I've casted in a long time. So if something seems out of balance, maybe the background audio is a little bit too loud, or maybe my voice is too loud or too soft, please let me know in the chat. I keep an eye on it every so often. Make sure that you enjoy your cast today, so that way you're not struggling to hear me or spending a whole lot of your effort doing all your volumes down to 1. God, this StarCraft guy's just yelling at me and all he's doing is making Marines. What's happening? Yes, absolutely, folks. Rodzyn is a Protoss player. I just flipped the letters in sharing the matchup. So my apologies here. We are going into a robotics facility here for Rodzyn, our blue Protoss player. Wondering if we're going to see a warp prism pop out here in just a moment. Otherwise, it's kind of a pretty standard opening by both of our players here. 1-1-1 over for BratOK. He's going to try and push across the map here with a little bit of aggression. Just 6 Marines, so nothing super committed, but is going to force down a shield battery back at home for Rodzyn. Rodzyn did get a chance to scout that and see that this was coming. There's going to be an observer coming out. So the observer is going to see this posture up here. 2 Hellions are going to come in and force a fight. And, ooh, the sentry actually falls down almost immediately, saving that 1 Hellion here. It's actually a pretty nice engagement here. Hellion is going to have just enough here to run into Mineral Line. And that's going to be a lot of exposed probes. He's going to have to pull those workers off here. Meanwhile, there are 4 Marines just sitting up at the main base here, and there's not a whole lot here. Rodzyn's warping in 1 Stalker at a time, and that's going to be a tough sell, but the probes are going to be incredibly vulnerable here. 1 shield battery is going to protect this line for just a little bit of time, and actually is going to hold that off, but the 6 workers down at the natural will be the price to pay for Rodzyn. So a nice exchange, 6 Marines and 2 Hellions for 6 probes. So not too bad for BratOK, as he is going to try and continue moving forward here. He's going to posture up back at home, expecting a little bit of aggression on the rebound, but instead Rodzyn decides, you know what, that hold was good enough. I'm going to take my 3rd base and start moving there. But Liberator's going to try and have a second word here on this engagement. He's going to siege up. Is Rodzyn going to see this? No, he's not going to see this. So a couple of these probes are going to go down for his trouble. They finally do get pulled. 3 are killed off, and that Liberator is immediately going to take off. That's a great choice here. So Rodzyn does have... Oh, I always get that one wrong. Rodzyn does have a full view of BratOK's base, and he can see that tanks are coming out, and it's going to be another bio push with a tank on the way for BratOK. Rodzyn, knowing that bio is going to be the choice here, starts to go into AOE damage, and Colossus are going to be the tech of choice for right now. It seems to be a really popular choice with Protoss players. Kind of doubling down as well, getting that thermal lance extension and a forge and a Twilight Council all behind this. So he is going to have to get ready for this aggression that is coming up. Scan goes down for BratOK, and he sees that Colossus are on the way, so he knows his time to strike is really soon. But fortunately for Rodzyn, he's going to see the aggression coming here on the right-hand side. Starts to posture, but really doesn't have anything to posture with. The shield battery is in production, but that is not going to be enough here to help. The tanks are going to get sieged. One tank does get picked off, but the Liberator is going to help zone out some of the Stalker damage here. And this third base is under fire. Meanwhile, BratOK takes his third base down at his own set, and it is going to be Blink here. I'm actually surprised that it was waited this long to get Blink here. One Colossus is on the way out, so we are going to see a little bit of pushback, but without any support from Stalkers or Depths, that's actually just going to be a dead Colossus all the way around. Two more Stalkers going to try and pick off a second tank here, but there's just enough cover fire. These Marines are going to do enough damage that I think this third base is going to ultimately fall. Meanwhile, just rallying more and more units across the map, picking up some Marauders into the mix here. Yeah, and GG's called. BratOK just done enough damage here and takes the game number 1 in this best of 9 series. Well done, well done. So we're now going to see, where we head into game number 2. It's like I said, map choice is now loser's pick the rest of the way. And it's gonna be World of Sleepers is our game number 2. So we'll wait for our map to get set up. But I'm talking to you about a prize pool. Our best of 9 today will have a winner with 5 wins on the scoreboard, and they're gonna win the lion's share of our prize pool today, and we need your help to get that filled out. So take a look at the top of the chat. We have a Matcherino link that you can copy and paste into your favorite browser. Yes, even you, Internet Explorer lovers. Netscape Navigator, I think we'll even let that happen. APS 141 is the code you need to submit 50 cents of free money. I like free money. Into our prize pool. So thank you so much for checking that out. It really only takes you just a couple of seconds to get done, and it adds so much value to our prize pool and to our stream for today. So thank you so much for giving that a shout as we set into game number 2. I need to update this before things get too spooky and crazy. And then I need to remember if I have a hotkey set up for this. Is it F3? Oh, we've done it. But I had another thing pop up too. Thank goodness Spawning Tool thought that I needed to be a part of this game and was telling me good build orders to play. But fortunately, this Red Terran player probably doesn't need them. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of World of Sleepers, playing for Team Starcom. Give it up for BratOK. And spawning in the top right, our blue Protoss hailing from Alpha X. Make some noise for Rodzyn. Rodzyn is gonna go for a little bit of a scout here. Yo, what's going on, Sun Lily? Welcome to our cast here. Thank you so much for joining us. As Rodzyn starts to move across the map and see what is in store, but she's not gonna find a whole lot. He is gonna play his harassment game just a little bit. The SCV poll is almost perfect. Do you think Terran players just have that mapped out in their head? Like I know there are certain timings for like larva and supply. At this point, I do the thing. And do you think at like 1 minute and 2 seconds, Terran players just know, I just need to pull one worker off my line because there's a probe. Found him. I believe that's definitely probably the case. BratOK's gonna come over and scout on the right side of the map. The Nexus going up in the natural. So once again, we are not gonna see anything too terribly spooky right out of the gate here. BratOK's also going to lay down his natural expansion as well. Reaper's gonna get into the main base here and do a little bit of damage. Disrupts for just a little bit, but doesn't cause a whole lot of chaos here. And bunker's gonna go down for BratOK. BratOK's expecting some pressure here, and I don't know if he's gonna get the pressure he expects, but I mean, he's sure prepared for it. So the bunker does go down and does put one Marine inside of it just as a cautionary measure. And he still has that Reaper over on the right side of the map just to cause a little bit of harassment. Oh, that's a big pull off of that worker line, especially with an Adept here to protect. Oh, he does actually get that one. So a little bit of miss micro here by Rodzyn. He does get that picked off though, so a little bit of a delayed reaction, but does get the outcome he is looking for. It's going to be Widow Mines coming out for BratOK as he transitions into the starport as well. A couple of gateways going to come down as well, so maybe BratOK's reading this correctly here. We've got 3 gateways on the way. Well, 1 already done and 2 more on the way as Warp Gate is just about finishing up. And I think BratOK's going to be pretty solid back at home. 2 Widow Mines already out, a handful of Marines, and Rodzyn's actually going to just kind of transition here, go into a 3rd Nexus. So while Rodzyn shows a little bit of aggression here, I think he's just going to take the economic route and try and get ahead there. There's going to be this medevac from BratOK that Rodzyn needs to worry about, as it does have 2 Widow Mines and a handful of Marines inside of it. So that's going to blast across the map, while 1 lonely Marine, oh, this is going to be wonderful, folks. That 1 Marine's going to try and pull an entire army all the way down to the 3rd base expansion. Oh, this is just going to be mean. Just gonna be mean. He's gonna scout that he's got a 3rd base, but Rodzyn knows what's up. He gets the pull. All of the workers get pulled, and I think, okay, one of the mines is going to get picked off here. That is actually a really nice defense. Only two losses and 3, so that's actually not too bad. Pretty decent defense, all things considered. Workers get put back onto the mineral line. And once again, off we go. Rodzyn does have a good view of what's... I always get that one mixed up. Does have a good view of what's happening here, is seeing that BioTank is going to be the push of choice once again. And I think he's going to be just a little more prepared for it this time. Liberator is going to try and deny a little bit of mining, but doesn't kill any workers off for his trouble. Oh, he did. Oh, he had the bamboozle, and he pulled away, but I think it's not going to matter. 2 workers do go down. Oh, that's cute. Wow, those 2 Marines did a lot more damage than I expected them to. 4 worker kills. And he does have pretty good vision out on the map for Rodzyn, but just not seeing what he needs to see. He almost needs to bring that over to this pocket, so that way he can check that dead space without causing a whole lot of problems. So he is even on workers right now. Meanwhile, over on BratOK's side of the map, we've got 2 armories going down and some more tanks coming out. So it is going to be this big switch into mech, it seems. Some Hellions are going to push out onto the map. Really isn't a whole lot here protecting at the 3rd base expansion, so it's going to take these army units and this 1 Colossus to try and push this all away. But yeah, these 4 Hellions are going to dive right on in. Oh, this is actually good timing. Nice force field segments off 2 of those Hellions, and okay, actually not too bad. Pretty decent defense there. So more gateways going to go down as well, and he is finally starting to stabilize here just a little bit. Worker count staying even, which is a bit of an advantage for our Terran player, as mules are a thing. You can see those mules helping out as well. 1-1 mech upgrades coming down for BratOK as well. So I think this is actually a good call by BratOK. Rodzyn is still thinking that this is mostly a bio push. And I don't think, well, he's seen the one armory, which is not a big deal. And the tanks are no threat either, because those should be part of normal bio push here. Well, here's the bio that he's looking for. Is he gonna see this? Okay, so he is gonna see this coming on in. So hopefully he will be prepared for that. He does have enough. He does need to do something with it though. Oh, this will be a great pick. What a great pick. Nice job by Rodzyn anticipating that. And we're gonna have to see what happens here. Oh, actually he got really lucky with most of those. Does have disruptors out on play and charge incoming as well. But I'm wondering if he has what he needs to deal with this growing mech force that's happening in BratOK's army. He still hasn't had a chance to see what's happening here up in the main base. Hasn't had a scout for quite some time. So this could catch him quite off guard, as these Hellions are going to now cause some trouble as well. He really needs to get some static defense up at home, but doesn't want to invest the money into it right now, because he's actually doing a really nice job of spending. BratOK's got a bit of a bank. He's 20 supply behind, but he's hoping that the Hellions will have something to say about it. Oh, shoot, so close. Oh, two of those probes are actually heroes, and take those off. But I'm not quite sure if he realizes that there is still one there. He is manually attacking with the probes. Finally does have to pull off the line. 4 for 6, 4 workers for 6. Oh, look at these carriers. I'm loving it. So that actually will be a very, very good counter to this large tank composition. As Rodzyn decides he's got an army advantage here, and he wants to use it. Kind of comes in the top side here. Comes in with the disruptors. He does get a couple of shots, but really nothing of consequence. These tanks are starting to posture here as they push away the bulk of Rodzyn's army. And Rodzyn loses a little bit of army supply for not a whole lot of gain. He does pick off a couple of supply depots and units here, but overall, not entirely a good trade on his side. First couple of carriers are going to arrive here for Rodzyn, and Rodzyn's got to be making some really calculated calls here as he is moving into this heavy anti-tank armor composition. Does have a zealot here to scout that top side. Full scan, and he actually jumps up to 5 bases. So Rodzyn feeling really confident. I just would love to see not now. Well, okay, now we're getting better here. I just would like to see some stationary defenses. Static defense. Wow, could not come up with the word. Would love to see some static defense go down at these outward bases to help protect, and 2 seems to be an okay number. Oh, there we go. That's a nice pick off here. The Hellion run-bys not getting the expected outcome that BratOK is looking for. Yeah, and he's just not getting what he's looking for off of those run-bys. So he's going to have to find a different way to harass mineral lines here for his opponent. But Rodzyn's pretty much maxed out here. He's got a pretty good army composition, a lot to play with, and the carriers are slowly coming across the map. He does only have 4, but that would be enough to deal with the large amount of tanks here. But now that he throws away his entire ground force, oh, Rodzyn. Oh, Rodzyn. This was not the fight you were looking for. 4th, 5th, and 6th are up here, and there are just more and more tanks. Oh, he does have a nice little run-by of Zealots, but I feel like it's just a tiny bit too late. Ooh, that's a full energy Raven. That'd be a great pick-off, but not quite. So, that was not the engagement that Rodzyn was hoping for. I think he underestimated the amount of tanks that were sitting up on the high ground, as they are now moving over to Rodzyn's side of the map. A couple of good disruption novas helping out with taking out the carriers and basically making them functionally useless. They're just dead weight, and it lowers his army count even further, although he did get a lot picked off here. BratOK falling a little bit behind on army supply, doing a nice job getting those upgrades as he starts boxing up against Rodzyn's 4th base location. The Thor's doing a really nice job against all of the interceptors of Rodzyn, but the interceptors are still a little bit too strong, and the Thors are now actually out of the sky. 11 workers went down as well. I'm trying to figure out where those were. Must have been up here. Actually, more and more workers going down. Where were those workers getting killed? Oh, it was at this base. It was a nice little zealot run by. Incredible stuff here. Wow, Rodzyn. That was an impressive shift. I think I underestimated your play just a little bit earlier, but Rodzyn making a nice call here. And this planetary is going to be exposed. Not a whole lot of workers here to help repair, but the Cyclones do have their upgrades just about done, but it's not going to matter if they just all die. Vikings usually a worst enemy against carriers, but not when they become overwhelmed. Vehicle weapons level 3 are now completed, plus that mag field accelerator is done, so those Cyclones are going to become very scary. They'll like, easily take out carriers if they stick around a little bit too long without support. But there goes the planetary fortress. Nice split off from Rodzyn, and the Cyclones all by themselves are not going to be effective enough. Mines will help with this if they can land some really good shots, but so far not finding what they are looking for. And the planetary fortress out in front just does not have enough as well, so a second base is going to go down along with a giant handful of workers. One carrier does get killed, and more just gets rallied across the map. 2 more carriers pushing across, and BratOK's slowly getting pushed back here. Doesn't have a whole lot to work with, and now the 3 orbital commands are going to be vulnerable. One's going to get picked off almost immediately. Reinforcing carriers are going to slow down the reinforcements of BratOK. And it looks like 2 of these planetary forces, or not planetary, excuse me, these orbital commands are going to fall, which continues to stilt the economy of BratOK. He is down almost 50 workers. He's down 40 army supply, and he just doesn't have a whole lot of answers for Rodzyn. But a whole lot of mines could do the trick here, and doesn't get the hits he's looking for. Ooh, that was a nice little blanket here. The Thors are going to try and deal as much as possible. And, oh, that one immortal. No longer immortal. Rodzyn does manage to get the bulk of his very damaged army recalled back to his 5th base location. He decides to run him right back into the fight. Some charged zealots are going to help clean up a large portion of the damage. And finally, we get an observer in the mix here. GG is called, and Rodzyn with an impressive game number 2 evens up our series 1-1. Very, very well done by our BratOK player. Oh, I still have some silliness up on the screen. Sorry, just a second. And I don't know why. Spawning tool keeps coming back to haunt me. All right. My apologies. Thank you for being so patient here. We're going to get ready for map number 3. We're all evened up here. Makes it fun. Let's take a look at a Ligulac here. BratOK, our Russian Terran, playing for Team Starcom. What is his current matchup against BratOK? He's 54%. It's not too bad. Rodzyn, our Polish BratOK, playing for Alpha X. buds. What's his matchup rating against Terran? 61%. Okay. So, we are moving into Ephemeron as our next map. So, that'll be our map number 3 here. In between the next game, we'll talk a little bit about our sponsors. We've got 3 of them. We love them dearly. GameStop, Sector 6, and 24-Hour Fitness. I mean, I'm actually wearing a little bit of Sector 6, that one. Wearing a little bit of their swag right now, so kind of happy with that. Gonna have to kill. Gonna have to kill off spawning tool because F3 is apparently something very important. The use of that. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Ephemeron. It's our red Terran player playing for Team Starcom. Give it up for BratOK. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, our blue Protoss. Evening up the series 1-1. Give it up for Rodzyn. We are going to try. We're gonna plot that right there, but I need to turn off spawning tool. Spawning tool is going to be very not helpful for what we are trying to accomplish today. So, also, I don't need. We don't need that ding where everybody thinks, oh shoot, my phone has a notification. Probe manages to get in, get out. No big deal there. As the Cyber Core comes down as well. And Rodzyn actually noticing that there is no second base on the way for BratOK, and he does see that. So BratOK's going to get a little bit aggressive here, coming out with Marauders. I really like this. It's going to be a concussive shell rush here. So pretty excited about that. So Rodzyn's going to have to make a decision here on how to deal with that. And he does see the first Marauder coming out, so he does know what is potentially on the way. Doesn't have a whole lot happening here. Does move into his robotics facility initially. Nothing going down here at that base so far. I was kind of expecting to see shield battery go down, but there isn't even a pylon, so the second base is going to be exposed here. BratOK moving across the map. His Marauder concussive shells are now complete, and he is going to switch into some Cyclones, which is going to add a lot of volatility to this attack. Oh, excuse me. So shield battery is going to go down actually towards the back. A really nice high ground pylon will be able to help out. It is just getting finished now. But the first 2 Marauders are here. The probes do get pulled into the fight, and they actually tank pretty well against the Marauders here. Both of the Marauders are going to be forced to pull back here. Oh, if he's not careful, he's going to lose both of them. He actually loses both of those Marauders. I think that's a little careless of our red Terran player. That's a lot of money invested into concussive shell Marauders to get 1 probe. Cyclone is going to come across, but I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. It would be kind of a death warrant to fly in unsupported, but it's sure going to try. It does get scouted by the observer, and it's just kind of peeking around for a third base. It's fast enough that it should be able to zip right out. And now before he decides to give it a little peek, and yep, absolutely needs to hop out of that as quickly as he can. So transitioning into Widow Mines here for our red Terran player, and moving up to just a nice little tank posture as Rodzyn decides to take his observer over and check out the main expansion. Magfield accelerators are on the way, so he is going to continue doubling down on the Cyclone tech, which isn't a terrible choice. be really strong against a large portion of the Protoss army. Blink is going to have something to add to that equation, though. If the Stalkers are able to stay within attacking distance of the Cyclones, Cyclones won't last very long. So Blink is a good option here on the way for Rodzyn as a robotics bay comes down as well. So we're gonna see what Rodzyn decides to move into as he takes his third base here at the 5-minute mark. Oh no, that was unfortunate. A little bit of friendly fire as he was trying to take down the observer that was hanging out in BratOK's base. A little unfortunate. This scouting force does get caught out and is forced to be recalled back, but not before he does take out one of the units there. A couple more Stalkers are going to get warped in as well, as BratOK's going to use this timing to push across here. He's got a lot here, all factory units as well, and I guess he does have a couple of factories. Didn't realize this was going to hit as hard as it does. This scouting pylon is going to scout for about 4 seconds before it realizes, wait, something's happening here. Although the observer has seen all of this coming anyways. Rodzyn really doesn't have a whole lot. He's down almost 10 army supply, but he does have a disruptor here. The disruptor can do a lot of damage if allowed to attack. He's going to pick it up right now and make sure it stays safe. This third base is ultimately going to get canceled. I don't see a scenario where it stays alive. Tank off on the backside is going to do a great job of zoning out the disruptor. And it does finally force the cancel for Rodzyn. BratOK's in a really strong position, does start his own third base, so he's now ahead on that count. Blink Stalkers are going to add some muscle to this, but the tank is going to force those disruptors back far enough that Rodzyn just isn't able to get aggressive up front. A couple more tanks are going to roll across the map, so those are going to provide more and more firepower as more disruptors do come out. Rodzyn's going to try and fight down on the low ground out of the range of the tanks, but I think the more that he gives up this location, I think the worse he puts himself into this game. A couple of those tanks, reinforcing tanks, do come and siege up, so it's going to cause more and more problems. I think he's going to pick that one off. Yeah, it does get a nice shot with that, so one of the reinforcing tanks does get forced out. Oh, not advantageous blinks here, but it is going to be enough to more than likely, no, not quite. This tank's got 5 kills, and now it's got 2 SCVs repairing it, and of course a second cancel on his third base. Rodzyn's unfortunately very, very far behind. BratOK doing a nice job of nailing down this aggression, and third base is already completed for BratOK. Just moving into more and more Cyclone production and doing a really nice job of making the most of the unit that he does have right now. And oh, unfortunately, one of those disruptors goes down. He's still got 2. But a couple of tanks here is going to make sure that this third base doesn't get taken anytime soon. And he decides to put down an engineering bay to make that wraparound even that much more difficult. Big blink in on top of the Cyclone Hellion army here, and he does pick off a couple of those Cyclones, but really doesn't get the damage that he was looking for. This tank repositioning just a little bit to anchor down this low ground. One disruptor shot almost making a connection here. And BratOK's going to do the right thing. He's going to come over and check and see if this third base is being taken, which he finds that it does. Big blink forward protects one of those tanks. Another cancel. That's the third cancel here. Blinks away. And Rodzyn is just unfortunately falling further and further and further behind. Meanwhile, back at home, BratOK is fully saturated on all 3 bases. Tons of Widow Mines coming out. More and more disruptors. Rodzyn continually being forced on the 2 base. Finally is going to get this cleaned up here at right outside the third base location. But BratOK just has so much muscle in his army. But check out that worker advantage. 76 to 53. I think that's going to be the story of this game. Fortunately, Disruptors are going to do a really nice job of zoning out this army as long as Rodzyn's able to devote enough to keep it alive. And we're going to continue seeing more and more. Continue to see more and more of Rodzyn moving out a little bit further. Ooh, does do a nice job of picking off those Widow Mines. Cute little trick there. 3 Hellions are going to run on in here. They're going to see a whole score of Stalkers. A lot of supply left back at home. Oh yeah, good pullback by BratOK. Rodzyn getting real confident here with the Disruptors. Ooh, does manage to pick up 1. Oh, gets a couple more there. That's actually some really good pickups by Rodzyn here. Some very, very good control, and BratOK knows that Rodzyn's not able to continue making this work without staying home to be defensive. So he puts out a 4th and a 5th base to just continue hammering home his economic lead, but that is a lot of Stalkers. Stalkers are going to be able to blink in if they can ever get close enough to the tanks to deal damage, and unfortunately I don't think that's going to be the case here. A couple of those Cyclones getting caught on the outside of the bridge, so he does lose 3 of those for free. And it slowly allows Rodzyn more and more wiggle room back into the game here. Oh, unfortunately not the high ground vision he needed here. He's going to take down those breakable rocks and move off to the left-hand side to try and deal some damage. And there really isn't any big transitioning happening here. Rodzyn just staying on large Stalker and a Disruptor play. But now we're going to start seeing a little bit of harassment happen here on the right-hand side of the map in the form of some Speed Zealots coming on in, going to try and segment a little bit of BratOK's army here. It's going to work for the time being. Big blink on top of these tanks is going to take out a lot of this, and if you can get rid of the tank AoE, that's going to do amazing things, but unfortunately there's 4 more tanks sitting down over here, so he's making big sacrifices in his Stalker army and not getting a whole lot of gains. Big Stalker warp in over here is going to protect this warp prism from that incoming force, and now the 2 forces are going to collide, and Rodzyn needs to get a lot of work done. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it. He's sacrificing a lot of this Stalker and Zealot army composition, and these tanks are just getting a ton of work, and not many kills, but definitely a lot of damage done. And Rodzyn's just not able to find the harassment he needs. He's still stuck on 3 bases. He's got the probes to move to a 4th, but unfortunately no. Well, the 4th nexus just goes down right here, and it's really far out, very far forward. 93 workers to 56. BratOK is just firing on all 12 cylinders here. Moving into some hyperflight rotors, some drilling claws, just picking up every possible upgrade in the book at this point. And that's going to be BratOK is the one that is out on the move. Going to try and get aggressive, since he is practically maxed out here. Blue Flame's going to do a nice job of trying to corner off those Zealots, and here comes the tanks as they slowly start leapfrogging forward here. Oh, and that's a quick chunk of damage down on those Stalkers for almost free. Oh, I kind of expected the wrap around here. Doesn't live up to the expectations, but there's just no hammering these outside bases here for Rodzyn. Rodzyn is down a lot in supply. He's down a lot in army. He's trying his hardest, but he's going to get the tab out. GG is called, and BratOK convincingly takes game number 3 in strong fashion. Well done. GG. Great opportunity to talk about one of our main sponsors here, but I need to find the info. Oh, baby. I've located it. Would you believe that I've casted once or twice before in my life? I definitely don't show it very well. So. But this is a great opportunity to shout out one of our big sponsors here in GameStop. At GameStop, they're striving to cater to both the pros and the Joes. Not only are they introducing training and coaching from some of the world's best teams and players, but they also have amazing products, promotions, and services on their website and in store. They have a loyalty program and monthly deals. You can trade in old games and get broken controllers and consoles fixed. Hey, what a great opportunity. Check out any one of their locations across North America or Europe, or check out their website, GameStop.com, and start bringing more power to your game. We want to thank them for bringing more power to our Alpha Pro series, so thank you so much, GameStop, for being a primary sponsor of Alpha X. And we are getting ready for game number 4. We're going to be on Simulacrum. Okay. I'm down with this map. Simulacrum. 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 Something like that. All right, we are getting set up into map number 4 here. In fact, we are already in. Let's jump in to our next game. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Simulacrum. Simulacrum, something like that. Our red Protoss player playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Rodzyn. And spawning in the bottom right, playing for Team Starcom, our blue Terran player. He's up 1 map, looking to make his lead even further. It is BratOK. I'm just waiting for more and more stuff to come up here in funky builds. Both players just showing a lot of respect to each other. So this is going to come across the map and be just a little bit annoying. We're going to watch it work its magic here. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot happening here as we move into a pretty standard opening once again. I mean, I'm looking for a little bit of excitement. I would love to see some early timings happening here. But BratOK's had some really powerful early to mid-game timings that I think he does a nice job of lining up, and it seems to be a really strong counter timing for Rodzyn. So we'll have to see what Rodzyn does here in game number 4 to try and stop one of those counter timings. Reaper comes on in and doesn't find a whole lot of damage here. The Adept is in a little bit better position. Some really good SimCity by Rodzyn. Prob's getting moved down to the natural expansion as BratOK continuing to find more and more damage. And he actually does get a really nice toss. Oh, almost picks off that probe, but he does have to get out with his life. Otherwise, he will be in jeopardy. Meanwhile, back at home, going another 1-1-1 here, pumping out some Marines to throw into the bunker here. BratOK's been playing very, very safe. I mean, Rodzyn really hasn't shown a whole lot of early game aggression in any of the games in this series, but I think BratOK every time has come out with the early bunker. But I guess it's a pretty safe call. It doesn't cost him a whole lot of resources, and the possible savings is massive for him. This Reaper's gonna dive really deep, and he does get that. Does get the one probe, but does finally pay for it at the cost of his own life. That bunker finally going down once he can confirm that Rodzyn does not have that early push coming. Third base going to go down here as well as Rodzyn's going to go right into his normal fare. Viking is going to be out to try and spot the location of this observer that is coming in. He's going to park right at the top here and get a good look, and he is going to see that this move out is coming. Rodzyn's gonna move out onto the map with his stalkers. I'm actually kind of a little surprised here. I'm not sure what he's hoping to accomplish if he wants to just get out in front of this. But with no blink, this gets to be a little scary. Although he does briefly outrange all of the Marines, so a couple of Marines do go down. And this actually would be a pretty decent choke here. One sentry could do a nice job with a force field, but the Marines actually get pulled right into the main base. So these are going to cause a whole lot of chaos right here. Observer is going to get picked off as Rodzyn does a nice job of deflecting the medevac here, and everything does get pushed back. So Rodzyn actually finds himself in a really nice position, army composition-wise. He's going to jump on top of these two tanks and Viking. And is he going to get away scot-free? He does. He gets a kill on all of those mech units, and Rodzyn's going to be able to push back. This is a really dangerous position here for BratOK. BratOK actually doesn't have anything to protect here at home. He's got 4 Marines. 4 Marines, that's it. One tank now finally in production. The boys get pulled off of the line and are going to have to defend as well as they can here to buy a little bit of time. Stimpack and +1 bioweapons on the way. But 7 worker kills is enough for Rodzyn, and Rodzyn just decides that he is going to head back home and not overextend, which is probably a smart play here, moving into Twilight Council, going in behind and picking up more of those AoE units. Extended Thermal Lance coming down as well, and Stimpack is just about finished up here for our blue Terran player. So he's going to be able to get aggressive if he wants to, and that it appears he does. It's a good scout off on the incoming Doom drop here. I don't know why that happened. There we go, and does manage to get everything dropped in place, but that one Colossus manages to be in such a great position, and the unload was not going to be kind. But a second wave of medevacs coming in for BratOK is going to help reinforce what is happening across the map. These are going to meet up. And I think the second drop is going to be a little bit stronger. But once again, he does have Rodzyn does have great vision on the map and is able to see this coming. Does a fake scan down at the third base location and actually pulls most of the army across. There's a little bit here to help protect initially, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. These tanks are going to be allowed to siege, and this is going to get really, really dicey for our red BratOK player. One Colossus does get picked off on the top side of the main, and it's going to force all these workers to get pulled right into the tanks, and the tanks are so busy working on army units as they should. Tanks are finally going to get picked off. So it's going to come at the expense of the robotics bay for Rodzyn. So unfortunately, he is going to lose that upgrade. I don't think. Oh, he did get thermal. He got thermal right at the very end. Impressive timing. But he's not going to be able to build more Colossus until that gets it done. But at least the Colossus that he does have, and I know he has at least one. Yep, he's got one right here. It is going to remain a little bit stronger in the meantime. He's going to be able to zone away this bio for at least a little bit of time. Charge is just now on the way. I'm wondering if Rodzyn meant to get that a little earlier and just forgot, or if it's all part of the master plan. But these zealots aren't able to push away as hard as he would like. BratOK does scan into the main to double check before he just flies in willy-nilly. BratOK does scout down on the south side, a couple of pylons alluding to a fourth base location here. A couple of those medevacs were a bit exposed, but now the medevacs up here at the top are going to go flying in. They're going to fly into the natural where everything is relatively unprotected. And this small bioforce is going to at least draw a little bit of attention, but there should be enough stalkers here to push this away ultimately. So far, so good. But a Liberator is going to cause a lot of chaos here as well. And BratOK doing as much as he can to pull his opponent as far apart as possible. Bio units are going to attack the third base here as a drop is going to come into the main as well. The Liberator moved up to the top too, causing a lot of chaos, but Rodzyn seems to be dealing with it rather well. Ooh, big blink underneath all of these medevacs. He's going to take off all but one. It's a great pickup for Rodzyn as he slips ahead in the army supply, but he does fall behind a little bit on worker count, losing 9 workers. Oh, I was going to say, he just needs to blink forward and pick this off. The Liberator finally goes down. But so did the fourth base expansion here for Rodzyn. So BratOK is going to get ahead on the fourth base and cause more and more issues here for Rodzyn. Rodzyn, I think, needs to strike while the iron is definitely hot. Units moving across the map here, and this is going to be the moment here as he's going to come in with the bulk of his army. The Colossus are sitting on the top side here away from a bulk of the bio, but a nice storm covers most of the army. Oh, an incredible hit on most of the bio, and that's going to allow these Colossus to just work like crazy. Top side here. The base is forced to pick up and fly away for just a little bit. Most of the bio is going to post up behind this planetary fortress. Planetary fortress is under fire. Big storms are going to take out a majority of these workers. 28 workers going down for now, and I think the economic damage has been dealt by Rodzyn. Rodzyn has made the swing that needed to happen here. One Colossus goes down and the second one very, very low, but BratOK just doesn't have a whole lot to work with anymore. A couple of Vikings will probably be able to push away and kill. Oh, not quite. Doesn't quite get the kill on the second Colossus, but I mean, one sneeze. One sneeze and that'll just tip on over. Boys finally get pulled off here. More and more workers going down, but I think the writing is on the wall as reinforcing zealots, the stalkers come crushing in. This Archon's going to get some nice splash damage as well as a orbital command is going to be forced to lift. Unfortunately, it does get killed. I think it is all over for BratOK in this game. He does have a base here, but he doesn't have a whole lot of production, and everything is just kind of holed up in the main right now. Good high ground vision from that observer is going to make sure that this push continues to be deadly. Up to the high ground. That should be all she wrote as this velocity continues to move forward. GG is called, and Rodzyn clears up game number 4 and evens up our series once again. 2 well, evenly matched opponents. Super fun to watch. GG is called. Gotta stay hydrated. Gotta keep the hype cast going here. No, I'm not the greatest caster in the world, but you know, I do enjoy getting excited and talking about some really cool StarCraft stuff. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. We are going to get into map number 5 here. In case this is your first time watching the Alpha Pro series, we do best of 9s over here. In the first 7 maps, we make sure to use unique maps. So if it's already been played in the first 6 games, it does not get a repeat until game number 8, when all of the maps have been used in the current pool, and we cycle back to the top. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you are having a good time here as we're getting into map number 5. We're going to Zen. Zen LE was our next map. All of our map choices are loser picks. So instead of letting our losers wallow in the shame of their defeat, we let them pick the next map so they can feel confident about the skills and approach that they are going to move into. We're all about the positivity here at Alpha X. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Zen LE, our red Terran player playing for Team Starcom. Give it up for BratOK. And spawning in the bottom left, our blue Protoss player playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Rodzyn. Forge. Dang. One of these times, folks, one of these times. Zen's kind of an interesting map in the pool because it's so dang small. Hope all of you fine folks are having a wonderful Saturday. I know that I'm having a good time as well casting this Alpha Pro Series match for all of you. Really, really grateful for the opportunity. Thank you so much to Alpha X for letting me be a part of your team. Oh, super sentimental. Well, this probe's taking a lot of damage here. If these SCVs wanted to go all Fight Club on it, I mean, probe's gonna fall, but you know, that probe's just gonna be a jerk and kind of float around for a little while. As the Cyber Core does come down here at the front of the inevitable wall of this map. So if you're not familiar, this is actually a really easy map to take quick 3 bases on. I'm kind of surprised our players aren't taking advantage of that. There's this tiny ramp here that's really easy to hold off as a choke, with the big 3rd ramp right there, giving all sorts of fun opportunities for our players. But you know, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. We are getting a tech lab immediately on this barracks, so I'll be curious to see if we go into another Marauder rush, and in fact we do. This Reaper's gonna be a cheeky boy and pop up the right side of the main. And he's just gonna dash around and be a little bit of a jerk. I'm just gonna do a little bit of scout and see what kind of tech is up for this boy right here. But oh, The Adept does get a quick little poke at the Reaper and causes a little bit of damage, so nothing too spooky here. Stargate's going to go down for Rodzyn, and I think the Reaper is going to come in and scout that for us here in a moment. Yep, he's going to scout that Stargate being put down and is going to create a little more havoc here for the Protoss player. But here come the Marauders. Marauders are going to try and do a little bit of damage, but I think this ramp is going to be choked up enough. Yeah, he's actually got it completely walled off with this gateway. Shield battery is going to help as well, and I think that this is going to be relatively uninhibited. Not going to get a whole lot. A couple of Adepts cause this to just melt right away, and that really didn't do a whole lot. So it's going to move us into Mag Field Accelerator tech switch for BratOK, but I think that was the plan all the way along. So these Adepts are going to blink on forward here and try and get a little bit of work done, but that Cyclone is going to push everything away and make sure that this is not something that is a big to deal with. Twilight Council is on as well, with 2 gateways incoming. And this Oracle is going to now show itself and cause a little bit of problems here. It does get a couple of workers for its trouble. And it does pick off that supply depot, so that's not nothing. It's actually a pretty good pickup and good use of that Oracle. So it does pick up 3 kills, and one of those kills being a building, I think. It's impressive. Nice job by our blue Protoss player. But I think that is going to force a little bit of action out of our red Terran, who does have a couple of Cyclones with Mag Field Accelerator on the way. And actually just about done. Rodzyn's going to move out and take that 3rd base, and he does have it rather secured. There's going to be a stasis ward that could potentially cause some problems for our red Terran, so we'll have to see what manages to happen here. BratOK is just going to go for the forward pylon here and take the shield battery out of the equation, and does a really nice job of segmenting the 3rd base off from the rest of the Protoss player's army. So this is actually going to cause a lot of problems. It's going to put this 3rd base under fire. I'm not quite sure if it's going to get a shutdown or not, but it's not looking very good right now. Nice Revelation does catch a lot of the mines and makes them visible. It is going to finally shut down that 3rd base. A few pylons there at the top are going to stay alive, at least for the moment. Oh, and that stasis ward does finally catch one of the Cyclones, and this is going to force the move for Rodzyn. He's going to be able to posture and take this 3rd base location again. And unfortunately, this Cyclone is just going to perish in 3, 2, 1. Goodbye. 3rd base is going to go down for our blue Protoss as an engineering bay and a small wall comes up here for BratOK. BratOK doesn't quite get the damage he's looking for, but I think he slowed down the 3rd base of Rodzyn enough that it's still going to be substantial for him and at least keep the game leveled at this point. Trying to put all sorts of stuff into this wall here against Rodzyn, as Blink is now done, and Blink is actually shown, so he is going to have to posture here on this ramp. Doesn't quite have the Blink to move forward just yet, but he is going to pick off the supply depot, which will open that up for run-bys in the future. He's going to have to rebuild that wall, which does not surprise me. Workers killed so far, not too big of a deal for either side. Rather easy economic victories so far for both players. But these Oracles trying to provide a little bit of high ground vision for the Stalkers. Don't quite get the angle they're looking for. As a fourth base is now under production for both players. Rodzyn's going to move out to the fourth base. We're going to extend this game just a little bit. Rodzyn's going to go for his Templar Archives. The back of his base, we're going to start seeing that traditional Protoss army as Drilling Claws and pre-Infernal Igniters. Or Infernal Pre-Igniters, something like that. Goes into production. Blue Flame. Blue Flame now. There we go. A few more Stasis Wards going to go down on the map as well to create a little more conflict. Oh, and those might actually... Oh, no. I get it. So I'm wondering if he... No, he's got to know. He's got to know that that's there. And it's just one. Gosh, it looks like two. Not quite. Trying to tease the bulk of this army forward. Yep, and that's going to give him a hit that he wanted. Not quite everything he was hoping for, but does lock a few of these units down. He doesn't have enough stock. He's going to have to back off. So, doesn't get everything he wanted out of that. But hey, you know, kill's a kill. And Rodzyn is moving forward in the army count. 75 to 54. BratOK starts posturing here on the top side of his bases, moving to the fourth base expansion. Planetary is being constructed at this time as these Stalkers are able to continue causing some chaos. I heard a Stasis Ward get activated, but not a clue where. The one just got put down there, and these Hellions are getting ready to do a little run-by. Nice protection here by Rodzyn is going to make sure that that run-by, at least while they're there, doesn't get situated or any significant damage. And both players just kind of posturing right now. Two scans goes down on the main and the third base for BratOK, and gets a chance to see what is actually happening here, and does see the tech into the Templar Archives, but that should come at no surprise to him. Ooh, nice little pick off on that Oracle there with those Cyclones. That was a free pick. But if he's looking, I don't know if that was entirely worth it for BratOK. Those Cyclones tend to be rather gas heavy. Hellion to do a quick little run by, but the forces of Rodzyn are still there, and he continues to just move further and further ahead in the army count. 116 to 83, as both players now securing yet another base. And I think Rodzyn's at the point where he can now start dealing some significant damage to his opponent. Rodzyn posturing up on the top side here. There are plenty of tanks and mines to help push this off along with the planetary fortress. But a nice revelation is going to reveal enough to him as the second wave comes here on the bottom side. One battlecruiser is going to get really, really low. I must have missed the tech switch to battlecruisers. There are just enough workers here to make this a difficult kill. But I think that Rodzyn's going to be able to out-DPS this just enough, and he is able to take out that planetary fortress. So a really, really nice kill by Rodzyn. But Rodzyn needs to make sure that he doesn't overextend. He does want to get the kill on that battlecruiser, and he is going to get it. He has to be really, really careful here, though. These tanks are doing a lot of work, and actually the tanks are going to get all chunked away here. 24 workers down as well. This battlecruiser is going to get cleaned up as much as possible. Yamato cannon is going to be finished here in a moment. And Rodzyn actually does walk away with a really, really strong trade here. Does take out the fourth base location. Fifth base is kind of tucked up here now. The fourth base location. Nice Nice and secure. That's going to be hard to break into, especially when a missile turret will keep that well informed. Here comes a giant push, though, from the army of Rodzyn. Rodzyn's got just enough to muscle on in here. That planetary and the orbital are just gone. These two battle cruisers are going to come and do a large number of work. The big warping of the stalkers should help deal with that as well. The mines are in a good spot to cause a lot of havoc. And I think if I were to wager correctly, yeah, the two battle cruisers just leapt on out once they reinforcing stalkers. And these stalkers are going to try and clean up as much as they possibly can. Lots of tanks, lots of mines going down. The Yamatos are going to be really good on those immortals. It's going to force everything back just a little bit, but a nice proxy pylon here is going to make sure. Oh, I guess we got a warp prism there as well. Going to make sure that the warpins are here and are plenty. That income lead for Rodzyn. Look at this guy's bank, 2,300. Well, just spent a whole bunch here. Sitting around 2K minerals and 1K in gas. So these warpins are going to continue to be oppressive for BratOK to deal with. Big blink forward should be able to clean up this tank. The Natural is now under fire, and these battle cruisers are going to be heavily under fire as well. Two of those are going to go down. He really does need to pick up this tank. This tank's got 4 kills. That tank doesn't have any kills yet, but lots of damage being done. But once again, he's just able to continue doing more and more damage on the front of the line here. We do have Tempest in production, being produced 4 at a time. That is going to ultimately be what puts the nail in. Big blink forward is going to pick up the rest of these tanks and the rest of these battle cruisers. And GG is called. Rodzyn takes a strong game number 5 and moves us onwards in our series today. So we are getting closer. Rodzyn within 2. Does need to win the next 2 if he'd like to be today's winner of our Alpha Pro Series. Number 141 between him and BratOK. So check out our Match Reno page. We've got a link at the top of the chat. Real easy way for you to contribute here. Click the link, copy and paste into your favorite browser. Go out, you can type in the code APS141 to use a free 50-cent coupon code. I mean, these are at no cost to you, so we'd love it if you kicked in your own money. Like, that's not a big deal. You can totally do that if you want. We're so appreciative if you choose to. But if you're looking just to toss in a free contribution, totally fine. Take that code, utilize it, free 50 cents. Thank you so much for supporting StarCraft 2 esports. And I think in the next 3 years, it's that community involvement that's going to be a huge factor in the strength and the upside of our great community. So please consider. Any little amount helps. Thank you so much. Do also want to thank one of our sponsors, Sector 6. Check out this sweet. Okay, I gotta stand for a moment because you gotta see this. Check this out. This jersey, brought to you by Sector 6. It's got my name on the back. I can hear the timer going. I don't want to get too crazy, but I'll show you the back of it at some point. It's cool stuff. But it's very comfy. I really enjoy wearing it. It's very breathable. Like in the summer, I know this thing is gonna be really, really nice to wear. So Consider checking out Sector 6. We have a whole bunch of Alpha X gear there. If you want to support one of your favorite teams in StarCraft 2, hit them up and check out their link as we go into game number 6. We're here on Eternal Empire, spawning in the top right-hand corner, our Red Terran player. Wait, no, this scores backwards. What's happening? And we shift. Perfect. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, our Red Terran player. He's down one game. He's got a few games to win if he wants to stay in this series. Play for Team Starcom. Give it up for BratOK. And spawning in the top left. Bottom left. One of those. Eternal Empire. Blue Protoss player. Playing for Alpha X. Up one map. Give it up for Rodzyn. Yes. 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 This is what I was hoping for. Rodzyn's going to have to react very, very quickly to this, though. He is going to be able to scout this almost immediately and have to make a determination on what to do in this situation. We're also going to have to see from BratOK what he decides to do, and he is going to scout this. Well, maybe. Oh, he's going to run into the worker. So he's got to have an idea of what's coming here. He didn't pay that close attention. Oh, eventually we'll see this. So BratOK is going to sit out at the natural expansion. He's going to put down a bunker. But this bunker's not going to be able to get finished. The Zealot's already out. It's just going to be one Reaper for now. You're going to have to try and get as much work done as you possibly can. The Woods get pulled off the line. But I remember the StarCraft 2 Masters micro mission where you just have to stay out of range of everything that is, in fact, melee. 2 workers goes down. The factory is already done and producing a tech lab across the map. There is a second Reaper out as well, and those are going to have to go deal with the Zealot, which I don't think that's going to be a big deal. As long as he micros the 2 Reapers, these should be just fine. Yep, and this Zealot's gonna go down. Rodzyn's gonna move across the map with some more units just to make sure that the proxy is not still in fact out on the map. And in fact it's not. And this is all gonna head back home. Meanwhile, BratOK moving into Magfield accelerators, going to try and pick up some early Cyclones once again, and he actually builds a second factory as well, so this could potentially be a really strong timing. Oh, but he's supply blocked. I don't think he realizes that. Does he realize he's supply blocked? He's not building a supply depot yet. Meanwhile, Blink coming down on the opposite side of the map. Oh, there he finally, did he do a call down? I mean, he must have. Oh, he was waiting for the command center to finish. I see. Oh, I get it. I'm a man who understands how StarCraft works. Once in a while. Not often, but sometimes. Okay. So, Magfield accelerator still on the way. Blink Stalker's coming in as well. Ooh, but these Reapers getting a little bit of damage here. Last one, ooh, almost picks off the 6th worker, but 5 probes going down. That's not too shabby, all things considered. But the second base is continuing to be populated by Rodzyn. Third base almost set up in place. Magfield accelerators is just about done as tanks and Widow Mines continue to come out as well. BratOK wants to do that really strong push timing, and he's actually going to block this off entirely, which does provide a little bit of defense here for BratOK as he continues to populate his own second base expansion as well. But that does lead me to believe that he is going to want to try and hit that timing, but he is kind of posturing right now as defensively as he can, putting those mines on ramp, getting the tank set back just a little bit. And it's for good reason, too. These stalkers are on the move and will be coming across the map very, very shortly. Blink is already done, so those mines are going to have to push back or be sacrificed to the stalker gods. Really nice blink micro by Rodzyn. Will keep those stalkers alive. That tank did get some nice damage done, but they're just going to YOLO on in and try and pick off this last remaining tank. The repair was there, but it wasn't enough, and these two stalkers are going to continue to deal a lot of damage. They're going to finally get pushed away, but not before they kill 4 workers. That's a pretty good exchange. Third base on the way for Rodzyn. It's about halfway done. BratOK's going to scan that and see that that is in production. Only minerals on Rodzyn's second base, though. And he's not entirely saturated on gas. I'm not sure if he's aware of that or not, but I mean, he's sitting with 500 gas in the bank, so he's not hurting at this point. More tanks, more Hellions coming out here for BratOK as he's going to try and make some run-bys happen, but Rodzyn's been really good about protecting against these Hellion run-bys of BratOK. Stalker's going to move up across the map. As Rodzyn sees the 4th base expansion going down, he's not going to find a whole lot of workers at the 3rd base, but he is going to try nonetheless. A couple of workers are going to get targeted down as stalkers do get warped in. He's going to pull all the stalkers back. Oh, BratOK doing a really nice job of creating good harassment. 6 workers, 7, 8 workers. These are still on their way back. 9, is he going to pick up that 10th worker? No, not quite, but 10? 9 workers for 2 Hellions? That's an amazing trade. Protoss players are falling apart trying to defend that. Meanwhile, the Theron player is just like, yeah, give me more. Good move out here by BratOK, the big chunk of his army. He does have a 20 army supply lead. Just get a nice little jump on these stalkers, and the stalkers don't quite blink out of range of the cyclones initially, so a bunch of these stalkers are going to go down for free. More and more workers going down in the natural. Blue Flame did get finished up, and 9 more workers. BratOK's up 71 to 47 workers. This is an incredible lead that BratOK has set aside for himself. More good micro, going to keep Rodzyn stalkers alive, but unfortunately, the little blink micro does not protect him from the cyclones of BratOK. As they're going to lock in and get some really good damage done before Blink is refreshed to come back and get him out of that match. BratOK, fearing the Zealot run-bys, is building a wall up at his 3rd base to keep that alive, but I think this lock-on is going to deal enough damage to the Nexus. The Sport Nexus is going to fall, and that is all that needed to happen. Rodzyn continuing to spiral and taps out. GG is called, and BratOK evens this series up once again. And now we're down to a best of 3, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Fun to see opponents that are very evenly matched go up against each other. Makes it fun for us, makes it fun for me to cast, makes it fun for you to watch. So hopefully the players are having just as much fun as we are. But thank you so much for hanging out. We've got 50 awesome people checking out our cast today of the Alpha Pro Series number 141. My name is Rushy. Hope you guys are enjoying the cast that you're getting today. If you are, make sure to hit us up on our social media. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. can always take a look at our Patreon. Patreon helps support all of the different casts and events that you see, because we're trying to dump a lot of money into these events to make sure these players continue to play, continue to work hard to have a great experience, and continue making a great community for our wonderful StarCraft 2 family. So consider checking those out. Make sure to give us a follow and a like. Let us know that you enjoyed seeing the Alpha Pro series, and you can always toss a little shout out to the caster, but you don't have to. I totally get it, but I'm just saying. We're gonna go into map number 7. It's a best of 3, folks. The next 2 wins will secure it for this Alpha Pro series lineup. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, Triton, one of the older maps in our pool. It's our Red Terran player playing for Team Starcom. Give it up for BratOK. And spawning in the bottom right, our blue Protoss player playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Rodzyn. This probe is gonna go scout. It's been hurt once before. He's worried about the incoming harassment, but Barracks is back on the normal side of the map, folks. Not that scary. Not that scary of a situation coming here for our blue Protoss player. Like I said, it is a best of 3 now. So I'm wondering if we're just gonna go back into that standard style of play, that bread and butter composition. Oh, we do have a pause. So we'll wait here patiently as we get sorted out by Rodzyn what's happening in this game. I think I'm just an observer, not a referee, so they can't see me type. Oh well. It's all good. Folks, this is a great opportunity. Check out the top of the chat. Match Reno, APS141. Add that free 50-cent code to our prize pool. Great opportunity to do that as we are back into this game. Thank you so much for your patience. Second Nexus going down for BratOK. For Rodzyn, as BratOK starts his own command center, making it easy. I think Rodzyn is breathing a sigh of relief. Nothing funky incoming on this game. Makes it a lot easier to just play your own style when you aren't having to try to adapt. Although I would say that the shenanigans from BratOK were relatively defended well by Rodzyn. But I think it took Rodzyn off kilter just enough that he wasn't able to get into the kind of game that he wanted to play, which caused him problems down the road. Reaper's going to do a little bit of damage and harassment here, not finding any probes just yet, but is going to have a little dance here with the Adept. Adept is going to chase it away. I don't think that she will finish her blink. Oh, she does. A couple of Hellions are going to come out as well as we move into a starport. So another 1-1-1 opening by BratOK. And a rather non-eventful opening once again here for our blue Protoss. A couple of gateways going down, so might try to get a little aggressive once again. Wouldn't surprise me. Ah, okay. We got a Banshee cloak coming in here for our red Terran player. So we are going to mix this up just a little bit from BratOK. I like this. I like it. I like it. Wait a minute. Is this TVP or TVZ? This looks a little TVZ-ish. 4 Hellions with a Reaper are going to come in here and try and disrupt the mineral line as... Oh, he doesn't have all of the workers lined up on the ramp. Really nice force field here is going to buy some really valuable time for Rodzyn before Stalkers do get warped in, and those Hellions are going to peace out. But now before the Reaper gets into the main mineral line, it deals a little bit of damage. Not too much lost in the realm of, excuse me. In the realm of workers lost, in fact, only 1. That's not too bad. But we're going to have to see what the Banshee's able to get done here, as a Banshee Cloak is about to finish and give us the outcome we desire. If you're a BratOK fan. I mean, I happen to be an Alpha X fan, but I try to remain impartial here. The Alpha Pro Series. But Rodzyn knows what's going on here. Stalkers are in place. Well, I mean, that Observer was in a position to help out, but it is a little bit out right now. Oh, second Observer here is going to push that away. And that actually gets shut down almost immediately. 2 workers do get killed. They're actually Hellion kills. Oh, Stalkers. Oh, lazy. Lazy pile of void right there. Does not help out there. Ooh, second Banshee incoming as well, and a Raven is in production. But once again, very, very good Observer placement, and that Banshee gets picked off for free. So BratOK is going to just gonna kind of settle in at home right now and try not to get too out of place. This is gonna force Rodzyn. Why am I now just struggling with his name? Rodzyn. Yikes. Sorry, folks. It's a Saturday, and we're all just a little loosey-goosey today. Just get a nice pick off on that tank, and a couple of Marines do get killed as well. Hellion is going to just dive on in here, and I think it's more kills than it absolutely should have. 2. It's a lot. But it is going to force the army of Rodzyn back. This is a scary little force right here. Nice size amount of bios, ravens. We're going to have a couple of medevacs in production here to help ferry that across the map. So that will be a push timing here. I think the timing of the units for Rodzyn is going to be just a little bit stronger. Thermal Lance is allowed to finish up. Blink is also about a little under halfway done. +1 on the way as well. This Observer's going to go out and try and get a little bit of scouting done. BratOK scanning the main base and seeing the tech, seeing a Colossus in production. 2 Colossus out on the map, 3rd one is on the way, and that is going to prompt BratOK to strike. They're pretty even on army count, so it's not a bad decision by any stretch of the imagination. Both players are going to try and do a little bit of a dance here in the middle. Get everything set up. Do the Marauders have Custer shells? No, they do not. So while the Marauders will be very good against the Stalkers and the Colossus, they are going to be just a little bit on the weaker side because they don't have concussive shells. So that will be something to keep in mind. Both 3rd bases are relatively saturated. As they both continue to beef up their economies and beef up their fighting forces. BratOK doing just a slow move out here across the map. He did bring 1 tank along with. At one point he did send off a medevac. I don't know if that got picked off or what happened with that. Charge on the way as well as Psystorm for Blue Protoss player. And it's just a handful of everything getting moved. We are going to have some action here in the center of the map as both players trying to test out where the other player is at, getting a little bit of scouting information, and it's going to be a big drop here moving off to the right-hand side. Big chunk of the forces are still located in the center of the map. This is a scary amount here. It does get scouted, and he scans and sees that there's a ton of stalkers. That would never hit the ground. Zeal's going to try and get as much work done as humanly possible. And they're going to pick up 3 or 4 workers. 5, 6, 7, 8. I never would have expected that to get 8. That was actually a great trade for Rodzyn to pick up 8 workers. Actually gives him about an 8 worker count lead. Meanwhile, doing a really nice job of shutting down any drops or shenanigans coming by a BratOK in his bases, and both players are just kind of building up and posturing. Lots of respect being paid to both of these players. They seem to understand that they are very well matched against each other. Neither player wants to overextend, not get the engagement they're looking for. But here comes the big AoE. We've got some Psystorms that blanket the majority of the army. One of the tanks does go down, and the other tank is just way too far back, hiding in the bushes here. Not gonna get enough of the damage they want. Yeah, BratOK is gonna have to pick this up and kind of run with it. A couple more storms are going to cover the army. Both tanks are gonna get picked off. 4th base is going to be under fire. There is a High Templar there that can storm this in 1 cannon. We're gonna have to see the reaction skills. Oh, fortunately not. Too busy up here trying to work with the bulk of his army. Does manage to pick up everything. Oh, GG is called, and Rodzyn with a really nice timing attack does push into BratOK and finds himself on match point. Match point is incoming. So we're gonna go to game number 8 here. We've now played every map in the pool. BratOK is gonna be able to choose the map that he wants to. He can go back and play maps that have already been played in this series. So we will get a chance to see that in action here very, very soon. I want to take an opportunity to shout out one of our other major sponsors in 24-Hour Fitness. You've probably heard us mention a time or two that 24-Hour Fitness has studio classes at any of their many locations. But have you ever heard about what you can do in these classes? They have strength, cardio, and yoga classes. There's cycling, pool, and Pilates classes. They even have dance and martial arts classes. The programs that are available vary by location. So check out your local 24-Hour Fitness and see what's on their schedule to fit into yours. And we appreciate 24-Hour Fitness supporting our endeavors here in StarCraft 2. So thank you so much, 24-Hour Fitness, for being a sponsor of Alpha X and StarCraft 2 esports as we get ready for map number 8. Yeah, these players are incredibly well matched, just leaning back and forth. We're waiting to see what the next map will be. It's going to be up to BratOK. We're going back to Ephemeron. Played Ephemeron in map number 3. We're going to jump right on in. Map number 3 was a win for BratOK, so it would make sense that he would pick a map that he did very, very well on earlier in the series. But if Rodzyn can manage to take this last win, he will secure himself a victory in the Alpha Pro Series at number 141. So we'll have to see what happens in this game number 8. spawning in the bottom right. Fighting. Must win 2 in a row to win our Alpha Pro Series event today. Playing for Team Starcom. Give it up for BratOK. And spawning in the top left, our blue Protoss on match point. Give it up. Make some noise for your Alpha X player. Our blue Protoss, Rodzyn. I almost expected to see BratOK with some shenanigans. I almost did. But we don't. There's the barracks, folks. It's in a normal location. Normal. Ugh. Normal. Very sad. But you know. It's all good. I don't think we're in a position where normal location is going to be terribly damaging for us. But we are going to see BratOK go into a typical timed expansion. Roger's going to hang out long enough to see it. He's going to peace out. Cybernetic Core on the way. And we're just going to find ourselves a normal game. This could potentially be our last game of the series, folks. So, if you haven't already, check out that Matcherino link at the top of the chat. Copy paste it into your favorite browser. Type in the code APS141 to contribute 50 cents for free. That 50 cents goes directly to the 2 players you're watching today, giving you some great StarCraft 2 content. Help them out. Let's grow StarCraft 2 esports one Matcherino code at a time. Thank you so much for checking that out. As the Reaper jumps on in, pokes away, and doesn't get a whole lot accomplished here. The Adept is in a good location to help pressure that Reaper away. Reaper is going to jump on in for a second go, but isn't going to see a whole lot here. Twilight Council is going to go down. And that's actually an early Twilight compared to other games for Rodzyn. So we're going to have to see where that Twilight Council tries to take us. And he is going to go for that early blink. Reaper continuing to do a little bit of damage. Hasn't found a kill quite yet. But oh, shoot. Got so close. And it does finally get picked off. So no kills for that Reaper. Reaper does a lot of nice harassment, though. So not in a bad position. We're going to get another Tech Lab Starport. Are we going to see another Banshee play? What are we going to see? Yes, we are. We're going to see more Cloaked Banshee. Didn't work out so well for him in game number 7. Perhaps game number 8 is going to be the game he needs. He's going to be going up against Blink Stalker, though, which will not make his task any easier. But that doesn't mean that it won't do the damage he's looking for. Rodzyn's going for a 3rd base expansion. He's going to be dropping that any second now, and there it goes. BratOK is going to try and anchor himself down here at his base. Sends a Marine out to do a little bit of scouting. Same with the Adept. The Adept is going to get picked off before see much of it. I must have highlighted that by accident. But here's the real information. Banshee's going to move across the map here. Blink and Banshee Cloak are going to finish at about the same time. So it's going to come down to what Rodzyn knows. And he's already got Stalkers here. Oh, don't run him too far away. Oh, I think it was to go deflect the Marine. This is actually a great maneuver. And that's going to allow this Banshee to get in here. He's going to kill at least one. I think that's going to, oh, he's going to get 2. He is going to get 2. It's a great pickoff. Oh, but, oh, no, no, no. Two for a Banshee. Not worth. We're gonna have to see if this second Banshee does enough. There is an observer. There is plenty of stalkers here. Helping easier. A couple more workers though. Yeah, but this is getting picked off almost immediately. So 4 workers for 2 Banshees is probably not a great trade. Sorry, Terran player. Third base is just about complete. 4 BratOK is going to fly that out to location. These stalkers are going to make that a little challenging, though. As they're now moving out to the third base just to see if it's there. They don't know that the third base is in production, and will be flying out shortly. I think now he does. Yep, sees that third base. What else is he going to see? He's going to pick up the barracks in production, so hopefully he knows that the bio is going to be the follow-up in this game. And I think that's absolutely what's happening here. Templar Archive go down. 3 more Gateway as well. Charge is on the way. Does manage to pick off a tank from the high ground. So that's a really good engagement here for Rodzyn. Third base is going to try and fly out here. I think BratOK is going to push these stalkers away. Just going to try and... This is in fact going to go down. He just links forward. He picks off 2 of those tanks. He's going to lose a couple more of those stalkers. Not too bad. Not too bad. Gets a scan back at home, sees that Psystorm is on the way, 1-1 charge, and a Warp Prism are on the move as well. And Rodzyn wants to keep the pressure out on the map. He wants to maintain this map control by keeping these stalkers in motion at all times. Armory going down, 3 bunkers. Holy cow. Probably just putting 1 at each base, or? Oh, he's got 2 out. I see. Oh, he's got all 3 of them there, so he does want to anchor down this location. With the bunkers and the tanks, I think he will be able to do that just fine. This Warp Prism, though, is going to cause a little bit of problems. 1-1 just now finishing up for BratOK. Psystorm's going to be done here soon, and I think when Psystorm finishes, Rodzyn will be able to try and move across the map and provide a little bit more issue here. BratOK's going to find the 4th base expansion as well as cause a little bit of chaos in the natural base. 2 stalkers is not going to do it against 8 Marines, but yeah, good enough at least at this point. Big blink forward to take out the tank, and that's actually the only tank here at this expansion. So that's going to create a lot of chaos here. Some very, very full high Templars, so this bio army does have to be very, very careful. And the 4th base is completely protected by Rodzyn. Well done. Raven here is still going to provide the harassment that BratOK is looking for, but these two zealots are going to make sure that no extreme economic. Ghost Academy is going to come down for BratOK, so we'll have to see what he decides to do. These 8 Marines are going to come into the 3rd base location and get a little bit of damage done. 3 workers for their trouble. So that's a pretty fair exchange. Stalkers do get warped in, and oh, they're very, very close. They can see what they want. They just can't taste it. But here comes the scary push from BratOK moving across the map. He does have a slight army lead. So this could be a very strong push timing for him. I think the Warp Prism just scouted most of it. So we'll have to see what Rodzyn decides to do. Does have a nice coat of Psystorm over the big chunk of the army, but that should be enough. He should just be able to jump on top of this with his stalkers. All 3 mines have fired. The 4th base is now under siege, but I don't think that there is enough here for BratOK to try and kill this. Stalkers do blink forward and provide a little more pressure. Some Zealot Warpins will help keep that under wraps, and suddenly Rodzyn finds himself with a very strong lead here, leading in both economy and army. And BratOK's attempts to try and shut down Rodzyn's economy have gone for 9. Very, very strong play here by Rodzyn as he is now moving across the map. Does pick off one of those medevacs. That's actually a really nice pick. That's a lot of gas that BratOK does not want to invest in medevacs at this point. He needs units, he needs them now. Oh, okay. I'm not quite sure how that Immortal got there, but it did a little bit of damage and gave up its life in the process. Also, I find myself saying "oak" a lot. If you didn't know that I'm from the Midwestern United States, surprise. That's a pretty easy tell on my part. So, came here to see these Marauders just squeeze right past you. Oh, but didn't see you there. You came in the right stream. Hope you're enjoying it. Bioforces with a large amount of ghosts are going to swing around the right-hand side here and try and find some damage. Fish base going down for Rodzyn. There's really big scans going as well for BratOK, trying to find the army of Rodzyn. He's going to be able to swing around this right-hand side and get ready to cause some chaos. Nice choke here on the ramp is going to push Rodzyn back and immediately cancel that pitch base location. The Disruptors are just quite out of range. Not able to do what they need to. The force field would be really nice to segment this army off, but all the sentries get pinned off right away, and suddenly BratOK swings the tides in his favor as well. Really strong EMPs, neutralizing all of the energy from the High Templars. I think BratOK has done it. I think we're gonna go to a game number 9. 91 to 39 army supply, although that was a really nice side storm. It's gonna deplete all the energy of these medevacs here. So possibly Rodzyn could swing this one more time. He's got a really nice mineral bank. A couple of big Warpins, Zealots could do some really good things. Ghost goes right to the front of the army line, and I'm not quite sure BratOK really wanted that. He's not paying for it too much. One of these Colossus is going to go down. The medevac's going to make sure that the high ground vision is still there. And that second Colossus is going to fall. BratOK just streaming reinforces across the map. I think he has got this. We are going to go to a game number 9. Misclick. What was a misclick? GG. Oh my gosh. All 9 games today. It seems like I am always that fortunate. It is either it's a 5-0 sweep or we play all 9 games. So I get the pleasure of doing the long cast here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me as we get ready to play our final map in this series. Rodzyn's going to have the call. Get a little bit of stretch there. For all the rest of you, this is a good opportunity to stand up, stretch your arms, let that blood flow through your body, grab some water. Got mine right here. As we are going to jump into Triton. Triton's going to be our final map of the pool. And away we go. This one's for all the marbles, folks. Game number 9 in this best of 9 series for our Alpha Pro Series number 141. My name's Rushy. Hope you guys have had a really great time with me. I've had fun casting. This is something I really enjoy doing, so thank you so much for hanging out with me as we jump in to to our last game in the series. This one's for all the marbles, folks. Spawning in the top left. Our red Protoss player. If you're cheering for him, show it in the chat. Give it up. Alpha X's own Rodzyn. And spawning in the bottom right, our blue Terran player. If you're cheering for him, give him up. Playing for Team Starcom. This is BratOK. It is going to be normal builds, so not terribly excited. Kind of thought maybe we would get that proxy racks again. Oh, some really nice RNG. That probe is incapable of getting to that SCV. Some really nice RNG there. Well done. All right. So we are going to get set up into this game. And again, not seeing anything super exciting one way or the other. We haven't seen the Nexus go down just yet, but there it goes. So both players going to collect their normal natural locations at their normal natural times. Oh. Scuffle there. Keep that hydration going. You can feel that this game number 9 is going to be very, very exciting. Again, both players just kind of opening up super standard. Nothing too incredibly cheeky one way or the other. Factory going down for our blue Terran. And actually, this Reaper checked out the third base location. Wanted to make sure that he was not getting a late proxy sent his way. Here comes the Adept to try and find the Reaper location. He's going to push the Reaper all the way back home. Second Adept coming out as well into the Twilight Council. Would not be surprised to see Blink coming out again as the Starport's coming down as well. Adept's going to shade up. Try and see what he can find. I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to see anything of consequence, at least. Doesn't even see the Starport. A couple of Marines, a Reaper, and a Hellion get out onto the map. And this Adept with 8 health. Very, very scary stuff. He's going to be a Liberator this time. So Blink Stalkers are still going to be good, but maybe not quite what Rodzyn's expecting to come his way. Pylon's going to go down inevitably for a new Joe Battery, but what do we have happening here? We haven't seen anything relatively scary tech-wise coming out of Rodzyn. But I don't know if Rodzyn's just planning on scouting. You see, drop a pylon here. Is he going to try and proxy something? What do you think he's going to proxy? If he's going to proxy anything. Could be a proxy Stargate, but it's a really late Stargate if he's going to do that. Could just be a proxy gateway as well, so he can get some really fast warfare. Yep, and that's what it's going to be. So Rodzyn's going to find himself getting very aggressive very soon. He does have 3 gates. So with the 4th proxy, that's going to be a 4-gate proxy. Right now, he just needs to protect against this aggression. Does kill 2 of the workers before losing his army. Not really a good engagement, but the important part is he did not see anything at this base, which doesn't necessarily tell you anything. And he doesn't know about this yet either, although he's been very close to it pathway-wise. this SCV going? SCV doesn't like, or BratOK does not like that he didn't see anything. And this is gonna get dicey really, really fast. So this is on its way. Rodzyn's going to transition into a third base, which I think is smart, or at least he's gonna fake it. But right now, just doing warp in after warp in here towards the front. Okay, so he's gonna take that third base. What do we have here for BratOK? He's got a couple of tanks, so this will be really hard to break. But he can very easily blink on top. He doesn't have anything to give high ground. So for right now, he's going to take down the supply depot wall and deal as much soft damage as he can. Charge is on the way. Production right now is actually really stinted because of the tech lab and the reactor being built. Kind of surprised Rodzyn's not committing more into this aggression. I mean, he was sitting on tons and tons of resources, but starting 3 more gateways. Okay, all right. So he's committing to the aggression. He just doesn't want this aggression to hit right this second, which is interesting. I guess the army supplies are rather consistent with each other. So this proxy is going to get scouted. That'll get cleaned up pretty quick. Oh, is he gonna see it? He doesn't see it. What's happening here? You gotta be kidding me. He cannot see it. Unbelievable. Is this gonna be a big warp-in? I want to see just a huge warp-in right here. Okay, now he knows this. Meanwhile, back at home, so that's where the warp-ins are happening. I'd love to see him right here, but he's just gonna jockey as much as he can to keep these buildings alive. But that tank now moving into the range is going to take care of that. Only now does he decide to warp in a couple of zealots right before that gets devoured. But you know what? That's okay. Third base is getting rather saturated for both players. So economically, BratOK continuing to make strides in worker count. Psystorm is going to be complete. 1-1 is also done for BratOK, so those Marines are going to get a little more sturdy. Starts building more and more barracks. This is going to be a really, really big bio push when it does eventually show up. But Psystorm already being done is going to put a wrench into that for BratOK. Ghosts are on the way with EMP, and it's actually the big EMP, so this is a very, very good moment for Rodzyn to strike. I know that there are 3 tanks here, but I don't think Rodzyn can fight big EMP Ghost Army. And here they come, the bio's coming in from the top, a couple of storms immediately. I almost expected the Stalker to blink forward to pick up that last tank, because once the last tank falls, I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. That's actually unfortunate. All 4 of those are going to go down. 10 workers do get picked off, though, at the natural expansion. So very well done by Rodzyn with the pincer attack. 64 to 56 puts the worker count back in his favor. Enhanced Shockwaves is just about done. And that's going to put Rodzyn in a very scary predicament. A couple more workers get picked off. Robotics Bay now underway, and I think that's actually a mistake. I think he waited way too long to get those out. He doesn't have anything that has a significant amount of AOE other than High Templar, and he's got 2, 3 at his disposal, right? 5. Okay, one of them just is scouting. I mean, he needs that back at home. I mean, these don't even have enough energy for one. Oh, he misses. He actually missed that shockwave. Whoa, that's okay. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be a big doom drop into the main. BratOK knows he's got the army to deal with this, but he doesn't get the ghost. He leaves the ghost outside of that, which is gonna allow these side storms to cover a majority of the army. Not a great play by BratOK, leaving the ghost behind. BratOK does a scan forward to make sure that his medevacs aren't flying to their doom, but here we go, continuing to work on setting up the play. Fourth base going down for BratOK, a ways behind Rodzyn. Rodzyn's now just starting to get probes out to his fourth base location. And he's actually going to be able to populate it almost right away. He's got a 10 worker lead. That's a great spot for Rodzyn. How many ghosts are we sitting on right now? 2. Only 2. Okay. BratOK actually not producing any at this time. Okay. Full High Templar. Able to do that. That's just an expensive scout. I don't know. I can't say I agree with that, but clearly these players are way better than I am. I'm sure there's a good reason behind using it that way. Colossus are now finally out, and extended thermal lance is about finished. So Rodzyn bought himself the time he needed to make the transition that he was looking for, but the ghosts are just not in the overall army composition anymore. So we're gonna have to see what happens here. Dark Shrine going down for Rodzyn as more starports are in production. I'm wondering if we're gonna start seeing battle cruisers in production here very shortly. It's very possible if that goes down with a tech lab. 2-2 almost completed out of the engineering base. As BratOK tries to get very, very bold here, jumping in on the main army and does not trade very well. 92-68. Oh, and he's going to lose this one. So, does kill 11 workers. Oh, I see. I see where those... Oh, no, only one Liberator still there. Sure where he picked off those 11 workers. Rodzyn's sitting in a great position here army-wise. I think he just needs to F2 and pull everything, because he's got army just scattered everywhere. 2-2 on the way for him, and he's actually sprinkling in some Dark Templar as well. And this third base location immediately has to get lifted. I think these workers are going to go down if he's not careful. That's so many Zealots. Zealots are going to do great against that high-tech, low-quantity army of BratOK. Boom, BratOK's just kind of folding to the wind here. I think Rodzyn's in a really good position. If he can hold on and keep this pressure high, I think he might just take away our game at number 9. 18 workers going down. BratOK really uncomfortable that he's lost his fourth base. Rodzyn doing a fantastic job of keeping the pressure on here. Gosh, I'd love for you to just swing back here, but Rodzyn's just going for the throat. He's going to blink forward here, try and take out some of these flying units. And the Zealots are just allowed to continue to roam free. Oh my gosh, they've got so much value. Really nice storms on the Viking will keep the Colossus in play. And Barracks going down, and I think he has done it. GG is called, and Rodzyn wins our Alpha Pro Series number 141. Oh, making Alpha X proud. I'm so pumped for you, my friend. Well done. Very, very good series, taking it all the way to game number 9. And I think that's going to do it for us. So Very, very well played here, folks. Check out that Match Arena link at the top of the chat if you haven't already gone out and submitted your code APS141. Such a great opportunity to do that. Wasn't that fun? Great games had by both players today. GG to both, and congratulations to Rodzyn for winning our Alpha Pro Series number 141. That's going to about do it for our cast today. Make sure to check out our social media. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter. Twitter is kind of like our go-to place. Anytime we have events going on, you can find all of our information out at our Twitter, twitter.com/alphaxsc2. Of course, you can always check out our YouTube. You might be watching this video on YouTube right now, and if you are, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see all of our great content. We have tons of cups, tons of in-house tournaments. We have all sorts of content going on all the time. Make sure to support all the great people behind those events here at AlphaX. Of course, you can always go to our Patreon as well and financially support our organization, but you don't need to do that. Biggest thing that you can do is check out our Match Arena pages and show up to our cast. That is the best thing that you can start with when supporting AlphaX StarCraft 2 content. My name is Rushy. You can catch me at twitch.tv/RushySC. I occasionally have some really good streams that go down, play lots of fun games, and yeah. So I'm a Diamond 1 Zerg, you know, doing all sorts of fun stuff. But thank you so much for watching. Again, big shout out to our main sponsors, GameStop, Sector 6, and 24-Hour Fitness. And we will see you in our next series. Have a great day. Stay awesome.